Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Pantheon Plus U number 73, and we are here to discuss a very, very spooky dev stream. Today we're shaking it up a little
Scary.
bit. Of course, we have our staple, Mr. Nathan Napalm. How you doing, Nathan?
Hey, glad to be here.
And we also have guest host Sparoh.
Hello, hello.
So she groups with us in the 101. You've probably seen her around. She's streamer famous, so
A streamer, anyway.
We are very excited about the dev stream today. I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was a really good dev stream. Gameplay is my personal favorite of all the dev streams that happen. That's what really, or when they talk about classes, those are my two favorite. But since it wasn't either of those two, I still thought the footage that they showed us today, especially the well pond, was really exciting to me. I just really thought that obviously when you put the gray box up there and you're just like, holy cow, like that hole got like 5 times bigger of
Yeah,
where the well pond was and where it is now. Like it's huge. So, it's just crazy. So, Nathan, what do you think about the stream today?
I thought I was really excited by the unrest. I mean, how's it pronounced? Sevil? Saval. I was really impressed by that. I know we didn't get to see in-game for it, but I think we've seen enough of the concept art and then seen in-game that we can use our imaginations and we know pretty much what it's going to look like. And I'm really excited about that. The manors or the creepy haunted places are always my favorite, and my wife too. And dude, the ridiculous, outrageous amounts of nostalgia they threw in there from Unrest is just exactly what the doctor freaking ordered. You know what I mean? That was my favorite. But I also, going down in the water, I was super hyped. I didn't think they were going to do it, and it kept getting closer. It's like, are we going to get to see underwater? We've not seen that at all. We've not seen underwater at all. I thought when it first started going down, the reflections, when they had that depth thing that they took off just so they could show you what it looks like down there, it's just going to be crazy, man. Then you can just imagine creatures and all the glowing plants as you get deeper. Pretty exciting.
Very, very cool. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Draq. I'm your resident wizard. Also, if there's eggs to be sold, I also do that as well. Or torches. I buy eggs and torches. So if you have any of those for sale, hit me up after the stream. But also Sparoh. What do you think of the stream, Sparoh?
I always love when you get to see not just concept art, but then you get to see in-game footage. That always gets me excited. But my favorite part was actually hearing about how well the PA session went and that they gave out details about it is pretty exciting. And that VR was very satisfied with the results of the test. That's awesome to hear. That they were really, really quick on getting any bugs and fixes and just in and out, got the game up and running. All that stuff had me super interested and exciting. I hope they cover more about how the PA sessions go for folks.
Right. So, just to remind everybody, this is not just about what the three of us think. This show is all about what the community thinks. So what we need from you guys is to join the green room. That's in our Discord channel. I'm going to link that right there in chat. You join that Discord, you join the green room, and then I will actually pull you into the Discord channel that we're in, and then you can discuss with us on this show what you thought of the dev stream. And a lot of times there are devs in the channel listening to what we're saying, and so they take that feedback very seriously. So take your brave pills, join the Discord room, and come in. I know sometimes it's intimidating, but I promise we do not bite. And we would love to hear from a bunch of new people and a bunch of old people today. So join the green room. There's only a couple people in there right now, but we need to get a few more people in there.
I tell you what, guys, if you guys don't get in that green room, I'm gonna start singing. So you better get in there, because we gotta make this a show somehow. Okay, so you better get in that green room. I'll do what I gotta do.
All of a sudden, the green room is filling up.
Here we go. So I'm talking about. Good job, guys.
As Sparoh said, though, they did talk about the PA session. I thought a couple of the details that I pulled out of there was that they were extremely satisfied with the networking. Those were the words they used.
Yep.
And that everybody was on one server. Everybody was in one zone, and there were over 500 people on at the same time. That is huge, right? Like that means that your networking is solid. If you can have 500 people in one zone, I go back to like EverQuest and Greater Fate Arc, and like there was a couple hundred people in Greater Fate Arc for. I remember when EverQuest was launching servers, and you'd have a couple of hundred people in Greater Fate Arc, and it looked like you were running it like half speed, like you just take a step and then the screen would freeze, and then you take another step and the screen would freeze. Like, now granted that was a while ago, but still, like 500 people in one zone is no joke. That's a lot of people in one zone.
Yeah, and let's be honest, that's because one zone, and I'm using that term because that's how the server sees it, right? One zone, 500 people feels like a very successful launch because it's by race, right? So normally that would mean 500 people or whatever race that zone is, right? So 500 people in one zone that feels like a good test for launch, to be honest.
Right.
That's a very successful launch.
And there's no type of like, it's 500 people all at the same time, right? There's no picks. There's no like, I think WoW does it where they kind of phase people in and out, right?
Mhm.
This is 500 people. Every single person can see every single other person. Like, it's 500 people. Boom, one zone, one network. Everybody's talking to each other. Like, it's all there. So
Yeah, and as they're seeing things in live, they're doing hot fixes, getting them in and out, and it's working. And that's just amazing to me.
right. Yep, it was. I thought that was a huge that was a huge announcement. So I thought that was really, really cool to say, because that just means like, because they've been talking about the networking, they've been talking about that needing to be fixed before they move forward, and so they also talked about how there was another pre-alpha session coming sooner than we thought, in a quote unquote tight schedule. So
Tight timeline, yeah.
That's a new word. It wasn't real soon. It wasn't, I don't think they've used the word type before, so I don't know how to judge this one.
Do we need to have like a marker board with all the?
I think we do, because there's different terms. There's different terms, right? Like imminent means next year. We know that now. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out as we go.
Oh, ouch.
It's all in good fun.
It's all good fun. All right. Well, let's we got a few people in the green room here now. Let's get somebody in here. Let's start with Postum. So Postum, if you will unmute your microphone, I'll pull you in here. I think I'll pull you in here. This is normally Theric's job, so hopefully this goes well tonight. Postum, can you hear us? Oh.
Hello, Postum.
Postum!
Draq, you're not allowed, Theric's not allowed to get sick anymore.
Nope.
How about now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, sorry. I'm still getting used to my mic.
No worries.
Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
You are very welcome. What do you think of the dev stream?
Oh, I loved it. I'm all about like that Saval Manor. I love that concept art.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it reminds me of?
Oh, tell us.
This is probably it's gonna probably surprise a few people, but it reminds me of one of the Banjo-Kazooie levels.
You know what? I can see that for sure. I definitely can see that. Hopefully, they go for a little bit of a more adult theme, but
yeah,
but yeah, I can see that.
Very cool. Anything other? What you didn't get any Unrest vibes or anything? Are you an EQ player? You didn't get any Unrest vibes? Because I was looking at that gazebo, thinking like, I hit level 11, then I go to the gazebo and I camp there till I'm 14. Like that seems straight out of the EQ playbook.
This will definitely date me. I've actually never played EverQuest.
Oh,
Wow.
Though, because you got Hillsbury Manor also in Vanguard. Have you done that one?
No. My MMO experience is actually a lot more limited than a lot.
Okay, all right. Well, what about haunted areas in the MMOs you played? Have you done that in an MMO?
Yes, I've played a few years on WoW. I'm trying to think of if they have something similar.
Yeah.
They also mentioned Resident Evil.
I picked up on that
they
too.
took vibes from Resident Evil.
Yes. So when we were in the manor and they were showing the hallway with the curtains, and I think there were like suits of armor and stuff, I totally picked up on
Oh,
the Resident
yeah.
Evil vibe.
Yeah, Tyree Jackson
Yeah.
says Karazhan. Totally with the curtains. Totally remind
Oh,
me
yeah.
of Karazhan. Yep.
There you go. That does make sense. And I'll tell you what, if an undead dog jumps through the window,
Resident Evil.
Yeah. Yeah, you just know in both these places they showed, Saval and the Well Pond, that there's going to be something creepy hanging out in there.
Very
yeah. What'd you
cool.
think about the bottom when they got to the bottom of the well? Is that a boss spot? That's what Sparoh called it. I think she might be right. When they got
Yeah.
to the bottom, there was the little pillars. There was like stairs. There was a platform. That's totally a big nasty boss, don't you think?
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe you have to send someone out there as bait to make it come out.
One of the Myrrh. Send
A
one of the
myrrh.
Myrrh.
Yeah, send a myrrh down. Yep.
They'd be
I-
good at that.
I remember the concept art said there's something big down there or something like
yeah,
that.
it did. It
Yeah.
mentioned something nasty. Yeah.
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
Giant octopus.
Maybe.
That's what I'm going with.
That'd be cool. It makes me wonder about the lore. Like, what's that? What are those ruins doing down there? Who built them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
How
Be
did it
happy
end up
to
down
let
there?
you know, but Derek's off today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I'm pretty sure Theric is busy right now making a lore video to churn out for tomorrow. Like, that's probably why he's not here, is because he's making his lore video. He doesn't have time for this.
And someone in chat, while this was while they were showing this, someone in chat had talked about like at nighttime, right, with the way the lighting and stuff works, and you won't be able to bring a torch, so like that's going to be a really creepy kind of vibe at night,
Oh.
especially even swimming on the top, because they showed those fish, lots of creepy creatures are going to be down there. It makes me feel like at night, maybe even from the surface, you'll be able to see like dim little glows from those plants and stuff down in there. I can just like totally imagine how cool this place is going to be.
So if you're at the bottom of the well pond and all of a sudden there's this bright light that starts shining and it's coming towards you, that's not a good thing.
Don't go to the light.
Literally a train is coming.
Run for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, the angler
snapfish.
fish bulb. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or maybe just a friendly Mer player, and it's the light reflecting from their eyes.
maybe.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Postum. Well, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. You got anything else before you go?
No, that's it. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for coming on.
See you later, man.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
All right. One down. Let's go to Mana Rohan next. Let's bring him in here.
All right.
While he gets in here and unmutes himself, I'm going to go ahead and give him a little plug because he is our resident musical maker. And so if you haven't subscribed to his channel, as Nathan Napalm put it earlier, he is criminally undersubscribed. He's only got like 200 or 300 subscribers. He puts out fantastic stuff. So you need to go subscribe. He's going to have some legendary stuff. He already has legendary stuff, and there's going to be more, so you need to check it out. All right, so here is one of his offerings.
Soon may the Pantheon come to bring us friends and MMO fun. One day when the beta is done, we'll all log in and go.
Yes, so that's the Pantheon sea shanty. Also, Sparoh was involved in the what was it? Don't say maybe. I can only think of the real song.
EA maybe.
PA maybe. Yeah.
EA maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That was so much fun.
So yeah, you've got to go subscribe to his channel. So Mana Rohan, after that long introduction, what do you have to say about the dev stream?
Oh man. Well, thanks for the little song there. That was nice. And I think it's actually less than 100, by the way. So
Oh, is it? Oh, it's even worse than I thought. It's
Guys,
You
How
guys-
is that possible?
everyone needs to go subscribe
Fuck.
right now.
Yes.
Can we get? I'm gonna drop a link. Did you drop a link?
Yeah, the link is
Oh,
the
sea
song.
shanty?
Yep.
I expect 71 more subscribers, or else I'm doing
Yes.
something awful right in front of all your faces by the end of the stream.
You have no idea how off-key Nathan can be.
You have no idea. I'm held back.
the new depths of off-keyedness. We'll see on the next Cringe Pony season.
Yes,
We'll
absolutely.
see how.
You have no idea how
Coming
long it
soon.
took Man of Rohan to get Nathan to sound somewhat on key for that song.
Oh,
There
he
was-
works magic for
He is
sure.
very magical.
All right,
there
all right.
was- yeah, there was
We got to
some secret
focus. So, dev
All right.
stream. What do you think about the dev stream, Man of Rohan?
It was too short, just to say that, just because I wanted more, but that's fine. I understand. But I really enjoyed the Saval Manor stuff, even though I think I'm confused with the I that doesn't fit with any other sort of language style that I
Yeah.
can think of. It just drives me a little nuts as I'm trying to get that into my head. But so I'll make that mistake, I'm sure. But um, I I was actually a little annoyed at first to see how on the nose it was, especially when it zooms out and has the maze, and this one right here,
Hmm.
the maze. I was like, really? You're gonna just copy it? But I was after they mentioned that this was an homage to all those things. I'm like, okay, you won me back. I was happy with it then. Just because I'm like, let's do our own thing, is what I thought at first. But I'm happy that it's like that. So but that's just my own idiosyncrasy. I think I'm really excited to see all these places. The art looks great. The vibe seems spooky for sure. I'm wondering how many secret places I can go, and I'd love to see, I pull this thing and opens a secret passage. I'd love to see, things a little sort of like the Nectropos Castle in EQ2 would be great, as far as all of the kind of little quests that you have to do to access stuff. And I would love for there's got to be a lot of keeper stuff in here.
Some key.
We know that
Yeah.
bookcase. We know the bookcase opens because they
Mhm.
literally showed it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like a little plug. I feel like, to let us know it's going to be full of little secret passageways. And I'm actually, what do you feel about this? I'm actually hoping there's a little bit of that classic old. You got to get a key to go to this.
Yeah,
part.
a little bit of key.
Oh, I bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, where it's like, but you can open the door, and if the door's open, everybody can just rush through. But like, I like that. Like, you got to get a key to get to
Mhm.
this, and it's a random drop. I really do like that.
But it
Well,
can't.
and
But it can't
ahead.
be impossible. Like,
No.
have a key, but
Mhm.
like it's got to be a reasonable drop, not like
What's a reasonable percentage, do you guys think?
20%.
20. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Like, was Nectropus Castle in EQ2? Was that too much? Because you guys did that on the 101.
It was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So I've talked to a lot of people who tell me that they loved it their first time, but it was too much to do over and over and over again. So I
Right.
think there's a middle ground there where it's fun to do, but it's not overwhelming. Like, oh yeah, now we got to run all the way a mile this way to
Mhm.
click this specific candle, and
Mhm.
I think maybe Neck Castle went a little too far with that.
Okay.
Well,
But
Right,
it
I
is
think-
awesome your first couple of times for sure.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they already proved it with a long time ago, where, if you guys remember the stream where Brad accidentally went into the boss room and the door closed and it was just him in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because he's the only one who had the key, and he's like, okay, let's go, and it closed and no one else could get in there.
I
because it
remember
was-
that.
Mhm.
No one else had a key.
Yeah.
well, the other.
So
Oh,
go ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just saying. So anyway, I think they're thinking of those kinds of things, and I do think it's important to lock things. And I loved the access type quests in EQ2, where I couldn't get to Zek unless I did the access quest. People complained about it. They changed it fairly quickly, I know, but I loved it. I thought, I want to work for something. So I'm definitely not those people.
Right.
Yeah, I think you had to do like a boat quest or something, and
Mhm.
you had to sail over there, but you had to do
Right.
that whole quest line. That was pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
and to speak to the I don't want to do it 15 million times. Remember, there's not going to be tons of no drop items in this game, right? So if you do it once and get the key, you could probably. I'm just guessing. I have no official information whatsoever, but I'm just guessing you're going to be able to pass the key to your
You're
other
gonna sell
people.
it, aren't you?
Oh, dude,
Maybe.
I'm gonna be sitting there buying them.
The key seller.
I'll be at the zone, Drax key vendor. 20 gold per key. I'll take all day long.
Well, and then looking at the well pond, I I'm getting a lot of vibes of, I play a lot of Satisfactory, and so you're on this alien planet, and it looks very alien, this down here, and I think that's good. I think it's appropriate for sure. And wondering how these are made. If it's a pond, how did we get all these structures from rock? It's not, did something burst out from the deep? Did something, how, what kind of rock is this made of? And really what I thought about the whole time was, how am I going to traverse this? I really kind of hope it's not just swimming, because then all the rock doesn't make as much sense to me. I want to have something that yes, is a barrier in some ways and obscures things and makes it harder, but I want to be able to maybe attach to the rock in some way. Maybe there are some items that I can use that sink me a little bit, and
Underwater
thinking how
jet
deep
skis.
it is. Yeah. So I'm just wondering how, I'm just kind of imagining, what shall we use to traverse this? And if it's swimming, it's going to be a long swim.
Mhm.
Going
Yeah,
down there.
dude.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Dude, they showed that little
So
halfling at the top. It was
yeah, it's going to
pugilous.
be
Massive. Yeah.
ridiculous. So, but yeah, overall very excited about all this. And I was mentioning, I'm like, there were a ton of trolls tonight. I just was really surprised at how many. It's not normally that many, and this is the only stream I've been in where I was like, dude, guys, chill. Just
Well,
if you don't know by
Well,
now,
that comes with, I believe that it's going to that'll be a new trend.
Yeah.
So more people learning about the game, the more you're going to get that kind of behavior. You've got, different content creators talking about, I believe, dragging in crowds now just there to aggravate the community. So
right. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This was my fault. I did a bad thing. So
what'd you do?
I shared the Pantheon plus you graphic to Facebook and the Facebook groups.
Oh,
sorry.
no. Well,
it's all my fault.
There we go. Turns out
At least
Draq
it
is the
wasn't
content
Reddit.
creator.
It would have been horrible if it was on Reddit.
But I mean, yeah, but on the flip side, and that's where I was going, is that on the flip side, it's good because there are more people that are at least interested enough to come in and troll.
Right.
Yeah.
There's more exposure, there are more people talking about it, and I forget who said it, but they're like, any publicity is good. Bad publicity is just as good as good publicity.
At this
There's a
point
point where that
especially.
ends. But yeah.
There's going to be a
so-
moment where they realize the game is coming out, and then they're just going to invisibly all of a sudden switch to, oh yeah, I was there from the beginning.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
Draq, you just lost 50 DKP.
Did I?
So that's what
Sorry.
chat's saying. So
I'm so in the negative on that anyway. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be like 3
So-
months before I get any raid drops.
Right, and it's looking great. I can't wait for the next bit, and that's pretty much it. I'm sure I'll think of something as soon as I get off of here that I wanted to say, but who wants to hear me talk the whole time? So
All right.
it's all good.
Thank you, man, Rohan.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Later.
Right.
Yeah, and as Minus said in chat, if someone comes in as a troll, all it does is give us a chance to convert them. Exactly.
yeah, and I don't know how many people knows this, but as of this morning, Josh Strife Hayes has said he's playing Pantheon at launch, and Asmongold's already said so. Even the people who aren't happy with what we know right now, or maybe how long it's taking, etc., those same people are still actually anticipating it launching. So it's not as bad as it may seem. It's actually really good, to be honest.
Yep. Oh, Olsen 105. Sorry, I should have disabled the points. I usually do that for the P plus U. I must have forgot about that. But I really like your login name. I'm actually related to some Olsens. So it's really that's my compliment to you. I like your username. Yeah, so let's move on. We got byproducts. Let's bring him in the room. Here we go. Byproducts, one of our mods.
Hello.
How we doing, byproducts?
Hello.
What's up?
What'd
We're
you
gonna talk.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just saying they're doing all right. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Love Dev Stream Day is one of my favorite days every month.
Yep.
What was your favorite part of the stream?
Definitely the Saval Manor reveal for sure. I haven't seen anyone bring it up, but like something that the hallways of the manor definitely reminded me of. Of course, this is a very old game. I doubt very many people will know it, but Realm of the Haunting, which is an old FMV horror game, like horror FPS game, um, from like the early '90s, that like started you out in like this old British manor, and there were like suits of armor lining the walls and you know arcane symbols locking the door and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. I didn't know
Man,
about this
Rohan,
game.
seventh guest, yes, also very, very apropos. But also a pretty good crossover is Castlevania too, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Dude, Castlevania's got some spooky stuff in it. I love those were such fun games.
There's like a shot in the concept art of like a big open like foyer, I think, with a huge organ at the top of the stairs. Which is
Yes.
very Castlevania.
Well, how creepy would it be if every once in a while it plays a little song? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you hear those that organ just start blaring out a creepy song. That would be excellent.
There has to be organ music.
Tinkling, a little tinkling of the ivories.
Does there
Mhm.
have to be lightning all the time? I feel like there does. I feel like it just needs to be raining
Yeah.
and lightning
Mhm.
at least almost all the time in this little area. What do you guys think about that?
Totally.
Oh no, it can't be raining. Remember, he said that the rain didn't fall.
Oh yeah,
on
he
the
did.
mansion.
Because it
Oh
was
my
cursed.
goodness, you're right. Oh my goodness. Good
Yep.
good catch. Good
But-
catch.
But it doesn't necessarily mean sunshiny all the time. It could still be like dark and creepy and stuff like that. And you could see that would actually be a really cool effect is if as you approached the manor, you just saw this dome of rain just falling away
Oh
from
yeah.
the mansion.
That would be super cool.
Yeah. And then the lightning could still come in from where that storm is.
It could hit the dome. The lightning could hit the dome and spark.
Mm.
Did you guys catch? They didn't mention if the family, because like obviously there were a lot of comparisons to Unrest and some other games or some other MMO dungeons like Nectropos and stuff like that, which is definitely very strong resemblance. But the family wasn't mentioned if the family was actually all dead or not.
Yeah, they just got cast away or sent banned, I guess you could say. Isn't that
Yeah,
what
or
they said?
chased off or
Chased
something like
off,
that. So
yeah.
it's like who's occupying it now? Is it just the undead? Is it there was like a worker uprising, but they all ran away too. It's like
They were humans too, according to the paintings, right?
Well, he said
Mhm.
ghoulish mobs in there, whatever
Mhm.
that means.
Yeah, I don't know that,
That
we
means-
we have like the exact 411 on that.
Yeah.
Definitely could find some exiled Savals outside.
But if it's gonna
Maybe-
be a zone with Unrest and Resident Evil vibes, then
Mhm.
it's probably gonna have to be undead stuff, right? I mean,
I
Yeah.
mean, it would be a little awkward if it was like filled with goblins or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta admit, I'd be a little disappointed. I'd be a little disappointed.
You walk in, it's just another orc fort. It's like, oh,
Oh, no, I
Nice.
would say it's a safe bet to assume that it's gonna be undead mobs in that zone.
maybe some like different kind of ghouls though, like might be some ghostly types and
Ghosts, yeah.
yeah,
Ooh,
I think so.
Stream Crush said cultists are always good in that type of zone too.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mhm.
True.
They could have taken over the empty manor.
I hope we get
Uh,
some
okay.
stuff where like you just sometimes see a glimpse of something, right? You know what I mean? Like how they do that in video games where like it doesn't happen all the time. And like people will think you're a liar or you didn't see it, right? And you're like, no, I'm telling you, I looked in that room, there's a ghost in there. I love stuff like that. And it feels very Pantheon-esque to throw in some stuff like that.
What about flying books in that library?
Oh, good call.
Oh, yeah.
Good call.
Just as like
Gotta have those.
little mobs, not with very many hit points, they just come flying out of the thing and whack you for damage, and then maybe just dissipate.
Yeah, and if the cleric or if the paladin's fast enough, he can throw up that shield thing that he can do. Block all the books if he's quick on his toes. You know.
All right, byproducts. You got anything else before we kick you back to the green room?
Yes, there was actually one other thing that I caught, an offhanded comment about a plant life that was in both the well pond and in the Mad Moor. They mentioned specifically that it was in both, which makes me wonder, like, is there an entrance to the well pond from the Mad Moor? Is there like a little connection? Like, they're close to each other geographically, but is there like a little connection between them as well?
Could be.
That would be pretty epic.
It wouldn't shock me. That
Like
feels. I would have not thought of that though.
Like a pool at the bottom of the Mad Moor that you just dive down and it's a tunnel that comes out here.
In the well pond, yeah.
Yeah, in the well pond. That would be pretty cool.
So, Minus just dropped a bean in chat, so now I can talk about it. Because the developer released publicly the information in chat. When me and Minus were playing in that valuation, he said it. I'm not breaking NDA. We looked out a window and we seen, this is kind of why I'm saying it's Pantheon-esque, right? We looked out a window and we seen a werewolf like out the window, like outside. It was all creepy, like howling at the moon. It was so cool. Like they're really good at just adding in those little details. Like you could have most people wouldn't have even seen that. You know what I mean?
And they did show that on the stream. So
did they show it on stream?
Yes.
I thought that was before we went on that. Okay, well, yes. Well, anyway, awesome. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Love it.
And I could see werewolves here in the Saval Manor.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The basement of Unrest had werewolves, and I was saying to Nathan, because the basement had the table with the alchemy stuff on it, and I'm like, hey, that's where the werewolves are, is down there in the basement with the alchemy table and the Iron Maiden.
Or the maze.
And Tehom just said in chat that he wants to animate the Iron Maidens and make them mobs, so...
Oh, what if you get like knocked back into one and then it closes on you and people got to get you out of it? That would be pretty cool.
Like a trap.
Yeah,
like a trap.
That'd be cool.
Oh, you're just taking damage the whole time because the spikes are bleeding you out.
Oh man, just don't put him on wheels. He'll give me Elden Ring flashbacks. Not good ones either.
The bad kind. Let's be honest. There's more bad memories in Elden Ring than good, but you look back on them endearingly anyway.
Kai Wingless is upset at you, Sparoh, for giving the devs ideas.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
My monstrous thoughts.
All right, byproducts, we're going to put you back in chat, and we're going to go snag Kai Wingless.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, here's Kai Wingless. Before we start, I just want to, we still got room. We still got time. If anybody else wants to join the green room, now's your moment. Hop in the green room. We'll get you in here. I think Dez is sick today, so he can't be the caboose.
Our poor sick caboose.
Our caboose is sick. So if you would like to be the caboose, or even one before the caboose, if a couple people hop in, then you're certainly welcome to do that. We love first-time people that hop in the green room. We want to hear your opinion. The devs want to hear your opinion. They want to hear what you have to say about this in-development game and your opinion of what they showed today. Did you like it? What did you think about it? So with all that being said, Kai Wingless, what did you think of today's dev stream? What was your favorite part? Oh, his thing's lighting up, but I'm not getting any sound. Sometimes that happens. Muted. Sometimes that happens. You may be using the wrong microphone input.
It's weird that it's recognizing he's talking now.
I see it lighting up, but it's not. We're not hearing anything yet.
Oh, he said. Wait a minute. He said, "Dez, are you that sick? You can't even hop in real quick on the line and be the caboose. You're that sick." That's what he said. I think I heard it.
I'm pretty sure Dez is pretty sick.
All right then.
Yeah. All right, Kai. I'm gonna move you back up to the green room. You can test out that microphone with byproducts, and I'm gonna bring Balnez down. Balnez, Balinez?
Balance.
Balance. Balance. Yes. How we doing?
Draq, I think it's your fault at this point.
It's not my fault.
Broke it, Draq.
Balance. Balance is not here. I didn't even see Balance's lighten up.
No.
All right. I'm moving Balance back. If you come back, let me know in chat. We'll drag you up. All right, we're gonna go for strike number 3 here. John Wayne. Here you come.
No. He's gonna be here.
John Wayne.
I am here. How are you guys?
Yay. I'm gonna turn you up.
Hey,
a
John
bit.
Wayne, what's up?
Oh, man, Dak just had to jinx it, didn't he?
What was your favorite part of the stream, man?
Well, I'm actually liking all these streams. I think everybody's basically covered the basics, and the stream itself, the art, the visuals, they're speaking for themselves. Leaps and bounds, just keeps improving, getting better. I know I've come on and said it before, but it just moving onward and upward. That's a true statement.
Yeah. Oh, I got a little quote here, a little Joppa quote. You ready? Here we go.
Excited. Onward and upward.
Ooh, look at that with the stream deck.
Absolutely.
You are a professional.
Professional streamer.
Professional
I'm here all
streamer.
day. I'm here all day.
See, he's trying to make up the money so he can buy back his DKP.
That's a lot of DKP.
Luckily, I haven't seen Zelik in chat, so the actual person that can dock my DKP, I don't think is actually here. So
Oh, there you go. You gotta stay. You gotta stay on the up and up. You know.
gotta stay on the up and up.
No, I just wanted the good bring up. The only thing I really wanted to say about it is I really like the style of mixing a little bit of the new with a little bit of the old as an update. So we got the new, we got everything on the manor. It's kind of new and fresh, and then at the same time we're revisiting old zones and seeing how they're becoming. So it's like the best of both worlds, but minus 15 more minutes, one more segment, please. They are too short. It's too good to be so short, man.
They did say that because they were doing the all 4 weeks now, that the segments were going to be shorter. So
Yeah.
they
Stand it.
did give us. Now they've said that in the past, and it's still been an hour every time. But
Yes, yep.
so, but
They'll
maybe,
get it.
maybe this time they were actually serious.
Well, guys, I've got good news about them cutting it off about 15 minutes too short. I just did the math. They're getting 180 minutes of development time back to the team. Okay, so that's 3 hours per year. So when you hear them say things like it's on a tight schedule, that's because they're cutting the stream 15 minutes.
It's those extra
So-
15 minutes that makes all the difference.
They give each of those two developers 3 more hours. That's 6 hours total back into development. So
It's funny how you bring that up because when you're building that kind of time in the positive, it doesn't seem like much. But when you have 15 minutes of wasted time, that sure adds up quick the other way, doesn't it?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It really does. I guess the only thing I'd like to finish off with before we test to see if these guys got their mics is I really actually like the color scheme. I know some people were saying it in chat, oh, it looks kind of bland, the colors look off. But I think that color scheme, we got to keep in mind there's no foliage. There's no flora that like the moss. So with that reflecting those color and that rock underneath, it's going to look huge and small at the same time and give such a crazy optical illusion, especially with the descent and how dark it's going to get with the darkness factoring in and the environment. I think it's going to look so beautiful at the end of the day. Like people are just going to stay down there and it's going to be hypnosis. They're going to just stay down there and drown.
And don't forget all the bodies. There's going to be some dead bodies floating around down there too.
Yeah.
People drown.
Roenick.
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's going to be bodies littered in the bottom. I don't know. I may have misread this in chat. It could just be me, but I think Tehom just promised an extra 3 hours on the next dev stream because of the 15 minutes being shaved off. I think that's what he said. Maybe I didn't get it quite right though.
Maybe a little off. I don't know. Yeah, once they get that bioluminescence in there and all the flora and the different fish and it's gonna look beautiful. I totally agree, John Wayne.
Yeah, I think it's going to look good.
We've seen zones without the shaders and then seen them with them in, and it's a really big difference. You know, and that's not even going into the effect of like their like the depth and all that kind of stuff they're going to add as you go deeper and it gets darker and more murky and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's going to be epic. It really is. It's going to be so
Oh
cool
yeah,
to explore.
and we've barely seen anything real time. I guess in the general public's barely seen anything. I don't know how you guys are in the pre-alpha test because I'm not privileged enough to be there, but I'm excited mostly about all the environmental and the climates that they're going to bring to the table. Because you might have a zone that's smaller, but if you're in a freezing climate, just because it's smaller, you're gonna have to spend less time there, or you're gonna have to be acclimated. So it's gonna change the whole perception around size, because how you can stay in an environment, how far you can go in that environment, and how deep or high you can go in that environment. You're still dealing with those other outside influences that might push you out sooner or keep you in longer.
Good point.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's all good things to look forward to. I'm ready to go.
This stream, and don't hold me to this, and I've never said it, but this stream has got me maybe just a little bit excited about swimming, just a little bit. But in Pantheon.
Yeah,
Since
in Pantheon.
I normally
It's-
just loathe underwater zones. I just
Mhm.
loathe them. Like it's the
Yeah.
absolute worst.
Well, they're rarely done good. There are some games I feel like it was. I don't know if I can really think of it. You know, I didn't mind the underwater in Dark Age Camelot. Remember when you got to Trials of Atlantis, Draq? Did you do that?
I never
content?
made it that far. I didn't make it.
I didn't mind it. It was very vast oceans to explore. That one might be the only MMO underwater. Yeah, I think it really is. I really hated the underwater combat in the MMO I don't speak of.
Yeah. Oh,
The
that
one where
one,
you
yeah.
get different skills when you're underwater.
Yes, and you got your own little weapon. Oh, it's so bad.
Careful,
I really-
you're about to have to put some money in the jar. You're about to say it.
Oh yeah. I really think that underwater is the accumulation of two things, because it's the two things that are never done at the same time correctly. Because one, you have your visuals, how beautiful the environment is, and the other is the actual mechanics of being underwater. So I've never seen a game that does both good, and that's why it always feels funny and it always feels just wrong in some way in almost every single game you go through. Because even if you get a game that has a beautiful underwater environment, swimming around is always clunky, or trying to fight underwater doesn't work. And then maybe you have a game with great mechanics and you don't always have the best visual representation of those in that environment.
And chat's mentioning Subnautica, and I've seen gameplay. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched gameplay, and they seem to have gotten it pretty right on.
Minus
Yeah.
actually mentioned it too. Joppa's love of Subnautica and wanting to have an impactful underwater experience. So
Yep. Yeah. So I've played a little bit of Subnautica, and it is really great. It is really, really great about it. I just don't like that you can't really defend yourself other than with a little knife, and you gotta run away. Oh, survival games are good, but I hate being weak sauce in games.
Kids keep is the best. Get out. Get out.
It's
Them's
keep
banning
is
There's the
words.
door. Get out. All right, John Wayne, you got anything else before we let you go?
Nah, I was just trying to buy some time. Hopefully these guys got their mics fixed. We can.
I don't think they fixed them. I think one of them said they were plugging them into every USB they had. The other one said it wasn't working. But Horseysaurus just joined the green room. So we got some or Horsesaurus. Horsey. I don't know how to say it.
All right, Horseysaurus, we're tagging out.
All right. Later, John Wayne.
Thanks,
See you, man.
Take it easy.
Horsesaurus, here he is. The man,
Hello,
the myth, the
Hey.
legend. Yeah.
Awesome. I am finally being brave enough to come on and speak live.
Huzzah!
Awesome.
Is this your first time? I didn't realize it was your first time.
Yes, yep, this is the first time.
Awesome.
So
it was
glad
funny.
you came on.
Thank you. As soon as I entered the green room, everybody started talking about Subnautica, which was going to be my one of my subjects.
Let's talk.
Because the last 3 games I've played is Subnautica, then Subnautica 2, and now the game that Nathan does not want, mentioned, which is what I'm playing constantly right now, and I'm actually in the coastal zone. So I've been doing a lot of water exploration.
How do you feel about it?
It's gorgeous. I love the underwater environments in it. The combat, yeah, I'd rather have my normal abilities, but it's a trade-off, and I'm mostly fine with it. But once we got to see the Madmoors, I was definitely, or not Madmoors, the Well Pond, I was very excited to see that. And even though I'll be a heavy armor or a wearing warrior, I will be sinking to the bottom of that as many times as I possibly can.
Maybe you could just get to the bottom faster. Maybe that's a perk.
Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Sink like a rock. Somebody cast some breathing spells on you. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. I just won't ever be able to get back to the top.
Maybe the party will have to drag you back up. Maybe that's how it will work. Somebody have some rope.
Can you imagine, Nathan? Can you imagine you're at the bottom of the well pond, somebody's dead, and you got a corpse drag, push the button and swim all the way to the top? You're all ding, 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 as you're swimming up. Oh my goodness, that'd be crazy. Oh,
you'd have to pay for it at that point.
Yeah.
That is what I. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what else did you like about the stream?
Well, everything, pretty much every stream. I love seeing concept art. Sometimes it's a lot more entertaining to see than the actual in-game footage. But once you have in-game footage, like I think 1 or 2 streams ago when they showed the towns, that really got me excited. Seeing the in-game towns and buildings.
You know what? You know what I really like is I'm not a concept art person. I just never have been. I'm like, why am I looking at stuff that's not even in-game footage? But what they do really well and really just makes impressive for me is they show you the concept art, then they show you the gray box art, and then they show you the final, right? And that just like pulls it all together to me. So I'm like, okay. So now I see the concept art for stuff, but then at some point I actually get to see it how it is in the game. And like seeing the transition is really cool. Like it's really exciting to see like, oh, they're not just talking about stuff. Like this concept art isn't like crazy stuff that some guy in a back room is dreaming up that's never going to get done. Like they actually create the places that they're talking about. And so that's, and they're drawing out that the concept art people are drawing out. So that to me is like super cool. And also just one of the greatest like reasons why I think this game is going to come out, because I can see the process. I can see the progress that they're making all the way from concept art all the way to, oh, here's a whole underwater zone and it's huge. So that's the part that's really exciting for me.
Definitely.
It also makes the places kind of famous to us, right? So like when we're really there, it makes it even more exciting because we got a little small preview of it and we already know and talked about it, and then you're really there. That kind of, there's a magic to that. And the way they show things off, they show it, but they don't give it away, if that makes sense. They just show it. And so when you're there, it's, it's obviously a totally different ballgame.
And it's like building nostalgia before we ever get to even play it. You know these places before, and the magic of nostalgia is going to just be exciting. Just like, oh my gosh, I remember seeing this place, X amount of months ago, and now I get to travel through it.
Yeah, NDA safe thing I'm going to say real quick. It is very common in PA sessions that mics get broken from squealing so high notes of joy, right? It is a thing.
We were watching the dev stream, and Nathan was squealing at the dev stream itself. Like,
I was wondering what that noise was.
That was me. Over. That was one of my high notes. Now I could go a little higher, but I'm afraid I'll break my gear.
Those people that play in Nathan's group on launch day, you're gonna need to definitely keep your sound levels adjusted to the proper level.
I have to go and push to talk for sure.
Yeah, did someone put a kettle on? I hear squealing.
My tea's done.
All right, Horsosaurus, do you have anything else?
Yeah, well, I'd like to follow up with what Nathan and Sparoh just said about the nostalgia. And someone in chat earlier said that do they asked, do you think we'll ever feel bad about having too much spoiled before we actually get into the game? And Kai said definitely not. And I think it's a good point because we'll have these places that we already know about, but we don't know everything about. So it'll be really fun when we finally get there, and then we can find out, learn everything about it.
Yeah, I think they're hyper aware of how much they want to show and decide to show. I think they're very careful because they don't want to ruin it,
Right.
for the people that have been watching from the beginning.
And honestly, this is the type of lore that I love, right? I am not going to sit there and read 4 pages of quest text about the lore of the well pond. I'm just not. It's not going to happen. No matter how good it is, no matter how many hours Jay enslaved over it, it's not going to happen. But just getting a chance to, before the game's even out, just like listen to Theric tell the stories and watch the dev stream, that allows me to get the lore and enough of what's going on to just like, oh, so when I go there now, I'm gonna kind of know what's going on. Oh, this is the well pond, and we saw that, we talked about it. Like, so that's the part that really engages me with the game.
Very true. And they always mention that too. Like, you need to come here and explore it and find the secrets. You know,
Right.
like find the truth of what's happened. Uncover it yourself. You know, I really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And they're excited to see just how long it takes for some of these things to be found. They're going to, months and months later, people probably still haven't found things that
Oh,
are
yeah.
in the game hidden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Horsosaurus, I'm gonna
I
kick
have
you back
one
to
more.
Oh, go ahead.
One more fun thing to defend the pronunciation of the Saval Manor. Why is the I making that AU sound? I don't know if it's just me or if it's maybe my Minnesota accent, but when I say I'll go do something, I say I'll go do something.
Oh,
Maybe that's where it comes
there
from.
you
Or maybe
go.
it's my
Good point.
Polish ancestry. So maybe
So
maybe
that's
it's Eastern European.
maybe those people from this manor that got banished came to Minnesota and started your people, dude. You never know. That might be
Pantheon
your
plus
ancient
you,
ancestors.
solving mysteries every day.
Must be. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, our last guest is a very special guest.
Mm-hmm.
We have Tehom in the green room. So VR Dev. So let's get him in here. Welcome, Tehom. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, always glad to be here. I figured Gondor put out the call for aid.
We definitely did, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, how's it going? It's sounds like the stream has had its fans, which is always exciting to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And we've just been talking. Everybody likes the unrest vibes. A lot of EverQuest fans. So the that goes over big. And then I just think the well pond footage for me was the biggest piece of it. Just being able to see how massive it is, and that little halfling as you go into the water on the way down just like puts the whole scope of the whole thing for me. It's huge, and I love giant huge zones and being able to like go and quote dive into that.
Yeah, it's so hard to appreciate the scope of it. Like, I'm glad that Midas included that little halfling guy so you could actually see just how enormous this space really is, and just how many players it can facilitate. It's almost mind blowing.
Yeah, I was saying, as we were watching, I was saying there's just so many nooks and crannies and caves and places to go exploring in there. It's massive.
So like how long does it take to like build a zone like this? Like the well pond. I know that you said you guys were building the tools to be able to like develop these zones pretty quickly. Like how long did it take to create the well pond?
So The well pond, I wish that I had my like Jira spreadsheets in front of me so I could tell you exactly how much time it took. I'm going to estimate that this space in particular, with all these rocks, for one individual was approximately 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
So that's obviously there's the creation of the assets itself. There's the placement of the assets. It is actually really interesting to watch it being built because so this was primarily built by Tim Schuler, who's done a lot of our Wild's End art. And he would actually take the entirety of this structure out of this hole in the ground, right, and build it in the air above, so that he could actually see like how all these different pieces were coming together. Which was just really cool to see. But yeah, it's actually, anytime that we're doing custom assets, it's always a little bit more time consuming. And especially when like it's one person who's dedicated just to that. But for the sheer amount of space that we've gotten through doing that, I think that this was just really successful for us.
Was it coincidence or planned for the past little while here for you to show off Saval in October? Or was that one of those things you're like, you know what, this is perfect, just in time?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to let the mystery just.
It's part of the mystery of the manor, it turns out.
part of the manor lore at this point.
I will say that the pronunciation, I think internally I'd been calling it Sevil Manor for, we've been talking about it for, oh my goodness, at least since last year, right? Because originally Saval Manor, there I go again. It was this tiny space. Like those of you who have played in pre-alpha will recall that there was just kind of a graveyard and this little ruined house out in Thronefast. And it has since evolved, right? We've identified that there's space for this additional dungeon. And there's always, there's something about this very classic haunted house that I think is just really captivating that we wanted to incorporate into our game. And of course, at face value, you look at it and it can seem like, okay, it's a haunted house and it looks really cool. I mean, I love it. I love the moodiness of it. But I've already seen some comments here and there that, it's just unrest. And like some people are like, great, it's unrest. And other people are like, it's just unrest. There are a lot of really cool things that we can do just due to where technology is today, that I think will really set it apart, that I'm excited for, that I am not going to spoil. But especially as someone who just, haunted mansions are just my thing. They've been my thing since I was a kid. I was like the Halloween kid. So really being able to root around in a space like this and find all the interesting ways to throw players off and scare them and just give you the creepiest vibes imaginable. I'm excited for it.
Sounds fun.
Well,
that sounds really fun.
You got three of the biggest EQ nerds here. Like we're huge EQ nerds, but like I don't want a copy of Unrest. Like, no, I want it to be different, and I know you guys are going to make it. It's going to be its own thing. I think the nod to Unrest is great, but I'm sure it's going to be I'm sure it will be its own zone with its own flavor and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's a nod to so many things. There's definitely, just given our history with EverQuest, right, and with Brad and with Steve and so many other people on the team who have their roots there. I think that there's a degree to which we're always going to have those small nods. But there is, we mentioned Resident Evil. Someone who had come on the stream earlier mentioned Banjo-Kazooie. That was absolutely on the list of things that were name dropped. And we're like, look at all these places for inspiration. And it's going to be really cool to see just how many different elements we can bring together into this unique fashion. And I'm excited to see it come to life. It is so atmospheric. Just looking at the artwork on the stream, even though I had seen it, for weeks upon weeks and months upon months, seeing it all over again, just kind of, it resonated with me in a way, but just in a different way, like almost in a way that it does as a player. Like, I want to be in here. I want to be exploring.
I think this is my favorite dungeon already. Like this is right exactly what I really love. It's just so different. You got this haunted thing, you got this mysterious past that you only know a little bit about, and it's just awesome, man. There's something just super fun about getting a group together and trying to go to some really creepy place, and I just think that's one of the Unrest was always a stop for me in EverQuest. I just love it. I think this is really fantastic, and I am a big fan that like as soon as it popped up, you're like Unrest. You guys showed a big, way more intricate maze. There's a gazebo outside. I'm already like planning my nights. I love it, man.
You've got to have a hedge maze, right? That's where all the corpses
Yes,
go.
you got
that's a
to.
must.
Yes, you got to, because that makes it even scarier. Hey, I know you can't say, but from the concept art, okay, it looks as though you may have to make your way through the maze to get to the manor. So I'm just imagining it's creepy, it's dangerous, and it's all dark, and there's fog, and you're trying to make your way through this maze. You're getting confused, but the whole time you can see the manor. You know that it's right there, but you can't figure out how to get to it. It's just awesome.
And then you
love it.
hear those werewolves howl.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Very cool.
Can you climb the hedges? Can you say that?
We've talked about that. At the moment, it's probably going to be something that we allow, but we utilize some interesting environmental tricks to make it more difficult than just climbing and walking above. I won't say more than that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
nice.
It'll be possible, but it's going to be risky. It's going to be a
Oh, okay.
I like
Okay. Okay.
That's awesome. I have a question about the well pond. So the well pond's like a hole in the middle of kind of, I mean, I know it's zoneless, but like in the middle of of an area, right? That just goes straight down. Is there any, can you just do that in your with your development pools, or does it take something different? Because it's not like ocean that just kind of like gradually goes down, but this is like a hole. So like, is that just something that happens? It's no big deal, or is that something special that takes to make that happen?
I mean, punching a hole in the terrain is pretty simple. It's basically like Play-Doh, right? If you imagine our terrain is clay and our tools are just, let's lift the clay, let's lower it, and we can just amp up the strength, set a radius, tell it to be, completely hard around all edges, and then all of a sudden you've literally just punched a hole, 2,000 meters deep, and you can do that. The trickier thing is, of course, making that look natural, right? And so that's where you have all these individual rocks that have to be put into place. You've got to create those more naturalistic looking walls. You've obviously got to create the caverns that kind of bleed out into the edges. So it is a little bit more complicated when it comes time to constructing it in the way that you see it here. But when it comes to, if we wanted to make another well pond, right? If we just said, hey, let's reuse, these assets and just copy and paste, that would be very easy to do.
Very cool. All right.
Okay. Can the whole server fit in there, do you think? It looks like it could. It looks like they could.
I don't know about the whole server, but maybe the 500 players. Maybe we'll give that one a try.
Love it.
Oh man, yeah.
Is the manor, is that a small or a medium or a large dungeon?
That is a good question.
I like that.
And one that I'm not going to answer.
I mean, the manor itself has layers.
Right, exactly. Even if I say that it is a small or medium-sized dungeon, right? Are we thinking about just the surface? Are we thinking about, just the house itself and not the outlying grounds? I mean, there's so many ways to answer that, and that's for you to explore and find out.
Cannot wait.
Very cool. All right. Well, we don't want to keep you all night. We could sit here and pepper you with questions forever, but we know we got to let you get some sleep. So thank you so much for joining us, Tehom. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate you all so much. Always love hearing your takes after the dev streams. And thank you for having me.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you so much. All right. We've heard from everybody, and we even heard from a VR dev. How great of a night is that?
Awesome. The best night. It's the best.
Very, very cool. So, before we take off here, Nathan, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say that, I love that Pantheon is growing into just Like I had originally when I got excited about Pantheon, my expectations were low. I will say, okay. They have pulled my because I'm trying not to get overhyped, but I can't help it. They have pulled my expectations, and I swear it's like I keep thinking like it really doesn't get any better than this, and I swear then they release this manor, and I'm like, dude, this is like this is they're just building everything that I want, and I'm so grateful that we have a team doing this because I never thought anybody would make a world ever again. I thought those days were done and over in MMOs, and I'm just so grateful that we got a team building a world and they're taking a few punches sometimes for taking the time that they need to do it, but I just want to once again just say how thankful I am that they're taking those punches in stride and just making a game that will last for decades.
Yep, for sure. Sparoh, do you have any final thoughts?
I'm just super happy that the PA session went as well as it did for them. They got all the feedback that they did, the fixes they wanted, and that they're just going to be going through the information they got and making it even better. And I'm just so thrilled with the mood of the game. Every zone I see has its own feel already. You just want to get in there and explore everything, which is the worlds that we want to see built, not just a game you kind of linearly go through. It's phenomenal, and every step has been so exciting. I'm so pleased I'm here with you guys enjoying it.
Very cool. And I would just like to say that for all you naysayers out there, just keep coming. Just keep listening to the dev streams. Just keep listening to us talk about Pantheon. Eventually, you're going to be with us. It's going to be fantastic. And you know what? We're not even going to hold it against you. We're going to we're going to be excited with you as you begin to explore Pantheon with us. So, it's going to be so much fun. And so with that, Nathan, you got anything else going on this week? I'll let you plug your stuff a little bit.
Feel my stuff's appropriate. Next week, though, to plug on this show, I do have stuff going on, but I don't feel it's appropriate on this show. But I will say next Saturday, Season 2 Crunch Pony TV is back, baby. I've been working on it all this time. It is awesome. So
I'm sure it's going to be epic.
Epic. Sparoh, you got anything going on?
It's the usual catch of streams on Thursday. We got D&D going on Sunday on the Weave and the Void. If you want to come hang out, see some tabletop.
Very cool. All right, we got for Pantheon Plus, we got the rewind. I'm sure that Dez and Theric will be, as long as Dez feels better, Dez and Theric will be breaking things down, and they'll be crunching all the numbers. And a little bird also told me that Theric is probably going to have a lore video coming soon. So you need to look forward to that. And I'm sure Nathan will probably be releasing some kind of summary as well.
Oh, definitely. Tomorrow. Definitely. Yep.
All right. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to raid Cryptfox. He is one of our dear friends. He plays with us on the MMO 101. And so make sure you follow him on Twitch. He's a great streamer. He's going to love this dev stream because he loves horror. He plays, his main game is Dead by Daylight. So he's going to love this stream. That's
a good point.
So it's going to be very exciting. So make sure you give him lots of love. Make sure you support him. Thank you everyone so much for supporting us, for following us, for subscribing. You guys are awesome. Everybody have a great night. Wave bye-bye to the people.
Bye, guys.
Bye.